Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and today we're looking at update 13.2, which is going to be arriving on World Warships in tomorrow, the 13th of March. Maybe it's the 14th of March, Thursdays, I think is when EU goes through. I don't remember right now off the top of my head. But this update is called the Piñata Hunt. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've been learning so much Norwegian lately that it's confusing everything. It really is. As normal, you can claim a day of World Warships premium account, and I think there's also some community tokens in here too, if I recall. But just a summary real quick of what we're going to be hitting on in this update. I'm really going to try to keep this underneath 30 minutes if possible. We're going to talk about Piñata Hunt, early access to Commonwealth cruisers, Commonwealth team event pass, Submarine Updates, U.S. aircraft carriers leave early access, ranked battles, Brawls, YouTube memberships, interface improvements, balance changes, content additions and changes, as well as other changes. Now there's a video here if you do want to watch. I'm not going to play, but we're going to first talk about the Piñata Hunt. I don't know why that's so difficult for me right now. But this event is going to start at the 27th of March and it'll end the 10th of March. So like 2 weeks after this update. Let's see, you'll be able to hunt a special Piñata ship during the event to gain an advantage over your opponents. Available as a separate battle type. This year's event features the specially decorated Colorful Islands map, as you can kind of see here on the screen. A little glimpse of what that looks like with the, I don't remember the actual name of this. It looks like it's the one with the volcano, and I can't remember the name of the island. Hotspot, is that what it's called? I don't know if it's a copy-paste of Hotspot or not, but details, it's going to be battles with tier 8 through 9 ships of all types, 7 players per teams. When the Piñata is taken down, a shrinking key area will spawn on the spot where it sinks. This game mode a battle type will introduce a new mechanic, support consumables. There are 8 unique support consumables in totals, with each ship type having access to 5 of them. 1 consumable for each ship type will be unlocked at the start, while up to 4 others can be obtained by completing missions or by purchasing them with credits in the armory. You'll be able to select only 1 support consumable per battle. So that kind of sounds like another little bit of a credit drain, not gonna lie. We'll see how popular this battle type ends up being, but a lot of fireworks in Piñata. So that must be when the ship blows up. Then, yeah, that's when the key area appears. You can obtain Piñata tokens by completing combat missions. You exchange these tokens for rewards in the armory, and there'll be more information to come in a separate article. So probably about just before this goes live, the 27th. So maybe it's like a couple days beforehand. But there's some cool pictures. So a Piñata dolphin. Didn't know you ever needed that in your life, did you? And this must be some of the other consumable deals that you can activate. I think I just skipped one. It's just showing some pictures. Oh, that looks interesting. And yeah, ship blowing up. All right. Early access to Commonwealth cruisers. So the long-awaited Commonwealth cruisers are entering early access in update 13.2. There are both light and heavy cruisers in this line, with low to mid tiers being armed with 152, while tier 8 and above are armed with 203 millimeters. Decent damage per minute. They have drawback, including relatively poor ballistics and slow traversing turrets. Starting from tier 3, these ships are additionally armed with torpedoes. At tier 7, these torpedoes become long range and can even be launched from stealth due to the cruiser's excellent concealment. Standard for most cruisers, the line will feature hydroacoustic search, available in its own slot at tier 4, and sharing a slot with tier or defensive AA at later tiers. Starting at tier 5, the signature of the Commonwealth cruisers is the crawling smoke generator. Also becomes available in its own slot. Long action time allows cruisers to remain concealed while moving slowly. Starting from tier 8, the ships are equipped with repair party with standard characteristics. Additionally, Commonwealth cruisers have access to the enhanced submarine surveillance consumable with improved range starting from tier 5, and their depth charge airstrike also has improved characteristics, so that'll be interesting to see. I already said what it was in a dev blog, but in all other events, there's going to be some permanent camouflages, so I guess we'll just go ahead and pull it up here on the screen so you can see what it looks like. Not sure if I'm even going to attempt to pronounce the names. Okay, so they have in India, New Zealand. So it's interesting they actually have the names of the ship, like nation they come from, in Australia. These are probably containers tied to the event with some commanders there. And so that's a flag and a patch. Release of update 13.4, the Commonwealth tokens in this container will be replaced with credits. More detailed information will be available. Yeah, so it's a Commonwealth Team Premium container. So if we can get 40 Commonwealth tokens, 100%, one item from the list below, 100% breakdown. 2.8% chance to receive one of the following rewards: Commonwealth Cruiser Encounter, permanent camouflage for Auckland, permanent camouflage for Cerberus. Alright, Commonwealth Team Event Pass. So basically this is the new thing that just replaces the battle path, so they're just the event passes. I don't know why they decided to change it up. It's pretty much the same but different. It's going to bring new thematic event pass. 2 progression lines as always. One is a free, one is not a free. Each line compromises of a total of 20 levels. Complete them all to earn all the main rewards and gain access to additional rewards for completing extra levels. You'll be able to obtain Historical Commander Harold Farncombe with 6 skill points. The Commonwealth team can commemorate a flag, the Indian Tiger permanent camouflage for Delhi, and Commonwealth tokens in the first progression line, as well as other valuable rewards. After completing the initial 20 levels, you'll receive 2 times more signal containers as a reward for completing each extra level. The second progression line, being the premium progression line, then unlockable via doubloons, holds the tier 6 Commonwealth premium cruiser, the Mysore, which I think I actually have. Among the other rewards, you'll be able to obtain permanent camouflages like Regal, Canada Day, Indian Tricolor, and Blue Lagoon, as well as Commonwealth tokens and other valuable items. After completing the initial 20 levels, you'll earn Commonwealth tokens as a reward for completing extra levels. So that would be in the premium progression line. So little glimpse here. So I was able to pick up some coal, some port slots, tokens, some camouflages. Even looks like some permanent camouflages too. I don't know if those are the tricolor ones or not. Alright, Submarines Update. So multiple new features and changes for submarines are going to be implemented with Update 13.2. This will affect not only their gameplay, but also upgrades and balance. To further address the issue of submarine shotgunning, which, by the way, wasn't an issue before, only few players were taking advantage of this tactic here in World of Warships. But now it's an actual big problem issue, according to Wargaming, finally. Submarine torpedoes will be adjusted to deal different amounts of damage based on distance, which is just dumb. I mean, honestly, if you want to get rid of shotgunning, like, you should increase the distance it takes for the torpedoes to arm. So they don't arm in like, what, Gato arms in like 1.5 kilometers. It should be like, I don't know, 4 kilometers as an example. I don't know. And if you're complaining because there's a destroyer right on top of you, well then you probably positioned poorly. As I hit the microphone. So basically, the way they're addressing it is that I'm assuming the torpedoes do less damage the closer you fire them on a target. Which, I mean, with a destroyer, I mean, it's not like they have a robust amount of health pool. I mean, if you still manage to hit 4 or 5 torpedoes, will that still not sink them? Interesting. Submarines will also receive changes when it comes to upgrades. Some of the existing ones will be either changed or removed, while new ones will be introduced. Okay. Gameplay improvements which affect both submarines and surface ships. Okay. Additionally, balance changes have been applied to submarines in order to maintain the same level of effectiveness for the ship type. Okay, it's pretty vague. Upon the release of Update 13.2, all players will be granted a 100% discount on demounting upgrades during the first week. The affected upgrades that are mounted on a submarine at the moment of the update release will be demounted at no cost and removed from players' accounts. Compensation will be issued according to their full prices. Alright, so this looks like it's going to be across the board, I'm guessing. 100% discount on demounting upgrades during the first week. So if you have some ships, definitely take advantage of that. Maybe you're going to sell some, or you want to move some upgrades around between different ships. These are often good times to take advantage. Whenever they do a rework, which is like every year now, they tend to offer this to the player base when they change the upgrades around. So there you go. More information about these changes as well as the compensation rules will be available in a separate article. So they're not going to go into depth here on that, so I can't hit that all for you. Now, U.S. aircraft carriers leave early access. Important note for me to make here. So this video goes up on Tuesday before this hits in a live tomorrow. Don't do something that could potentially give you a lot of problems in terms of it'll be an expensive mistake if you make it. I have been playing Independence. I have enough XP on it to get the Tier 8 Yorktown when it comes out of the early access. But I've been using Halsey on what is currently viewed as a premium ship, Independence. When they come out of early access, they no longer are premium ships. They're tech tree ships. So they know if I leave Halsey on my Independence, it will cost me to retrain him for Des Moines, which is the main tech tree ship I run him on. So make sure that if you have any commanders on Independence, Yorktown, or Essex that you technically run on a different tech tree ship, make sure to move them off before this update hits on tomorrow for NA, and then maybe it's Thursday for EU. I can't remember off the top of my head. But they're gonna become available to research. The new aircraft carriers only have access to the one standard torpedo squadron, which is supplemented with 2 tactical squadrons consisting of attack and dive bomber aircraft. Starting from Tier 8, the tactical squadrons are equipped with the new smoke curtain generator consumables. So you're going to start seeing some interesting gameplay. That's smoke curtains in random battles and other battle types, of course, that you see a Yorktown or an Essex in. And I've seen some interesting runs. I've even seen a guy with a Schlieffen dived with a Regalo, the Tier 10 Italian destroyer, run in tandem and switching out the smokes from the aircraft carrier, the Essex, covering the Schlieffen, only using his secondaries and stuff, right? So there might be some interesting Unicum, well, not just even Unicum, but just high-level gameplay out of that. So, but here they are. Yorktown finally coming to the game. Ranked battles starts at the drop of the update. 13th of March ends the 13th of May. In the Bronze League, battles will be held in a 6v6 format with Tier 8 ships, and in both the Silver and Gold Leagues, players will helm Tier 10 ships and super ships. So there's no like progression. I like when it goes like Tier 8 for Silver, Tier 8 for Bronze, Tier 9 for Bronze. I can't speak right now. I've had a lot of work meetings today. Tier 8 ships, Bronze. Tier 9 ships, Silver. Tier 10 ships, and I guess super ships in the Gold League. So that's kind of sad. I like playing the Tier 9 ships. They're always getting a lot of love, to an extent, in the game. For the Bronze and Silver Leagues, no more than 1 submarine, 4 battleships, and 4 destroyers are allowed per team. For the Gold League, no more than 1 submarine, 3 battleships, and 4 destroyers per team. Aircraft carriers will be unavailable during this ranked battle season. Okay, that's what they've said here. Hopefully that doesn't change or that's a typo. And they'll have more information coming soon on this. So, yeah, if they had it at Tier 9, they wouldn't have any submarines, right? So, can't have that. Brawls. March 15th through March 18th. So, this is when the first Brawl begins. So, they're not laying them all out like they normally do. The first brawl will be a 5v5 format with tier 8 battleships, aircraft carriers, and submarines. No more than 1 submarine, 1 aircraft carrier, and 4 battleships per team allowed. Players can participate in divisions of up to 3 players. Didn't say anything about destroyers. Interesting. YouTube memberships. I'm not going to go into this. It's here on the screen if you want to read into it. I don't think it's worth it, but if you have money and you throw it at the game, then there you go. Interface improvements. We've improved the clan interface by including 2 additional windows. The first one displays information about clan bonuses, and the second window displays the clan description and additional information. We've also had the ability to include a clickable Discord link in the clan description. That is simply amazing. This is maybe my smallest, most favorite change Wargaming has ever done. I'm sure there's other things they've done that I like a lot, but this is great because I'm a deputy commander, I think that's what it's called, in my clan. And so we put the clan link in the chat window once you're in our clan. But to be able to have it just simply here and adding the link is great. So edit, close, add link, description, and then bonuses. Wow, that's amazing. So it's actually just a descriptive window that just tells you what expansions have you done. I think in our clan, I think we've done all of them. I think maybe there's one, but I think we've done them all. Because most of them have 6, 2 out of 6 here, 0 out of 5, 0 out of 1, or those are achievements, excuse me. Wow, that's actually nice. So then, because otherwise you had to you can see them in the background, you have to hover over each of the different one to see what stage and stuff you're at. So just being able to have a summary overview, really nice. Glad to see that. Balance changes. Torpedo launching angles have been reduced by 1 degree for tone in order to prevent clipping into the hull while aiming. Increased damage of all submarine alternative torpedoes by 15%. Excuse me? Increased damage of acoustic torpedoes for British tech tree submarines by 5%. Increased damage of all submarine alternative torpedoes. So those are the ones that don't home, right? They've increased them by 15%. Sus. German submarine, the U-190 stock alternative torpedo range increased from 5.5 to 7. Researchable alternative torpedo range increased from 6.3 to 7.5. German submarine, the U-2501 stock alternative torpedo range increased from 6.3 to 7.5. Researchable alternative torpedo range increased from 6.3 to 8. So it sounds like they're buffing the torps because of the submarine changes, which we'll get to read more on in the upcoming article. But then they've released, I think, some of the stuff in the dev blog, but it'll be interesting to see what the final decisions on those changes were. Content addition and changes. New portraits and voiceovers for standard Commonwealth commanders have been added to reflect India, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. British Tier 6 cruiser Montcalm, British Tier 6 cruiser Orion 44. How many more battleships are we going to game of 44? It's like, yes, it's this copy and paste to the ship, but it's different. And British Tier 7 battleship Duke of Bronte, used to test Rodney, were added for testing by developers, volunteers, and community contributors. Used to test Rodney. Okay. Future changes with the release of update 13.3, Battle of the Summit container will be added to the armory. Thank you. I've been waiting to finish this collection, but I'm not able to get more of those containers. This means that players will be able to complete the Battle of the Summit collection if they missed their chance during the previous event. The Battle of the Summit container contents will change starting with update 13.3. Slot 1, 100% chance for 1x Battle of the Summit collection elements. So to finish the collection. I wonder how much it'll cost. It doesn't say. Or what, if it's just going to be coal, I'm guessing. I don't know. It says armory. Due to the above mentioned changes, starting update 13.3, all Battle of the Summit containers will automatically be open for all players who have them available on their accounts. This way, players will obtain the current rewards from the container before any changes take place. Also, a nice thought. Last thing is the other changes. Let's see if there's anything Noteboard here. Fix an issue with the top grade gunner commander skill on the Surrey that caused a display of incorrect information in the port about the secondary gun reload time. That's interesting. Fix an issue that caused allied torpedo bombers to not be visible on the minimap if an allied ship had the violator status for unsportsmanlike conduct. Oh, so they were pink. Interesting. Fix an issue where submarines stayed detected after pinging a target at close range and submerging underwater. Lol. It's fine with that. When opened from port, the battle results screen will now show what winning condition was achieved to end the battle. Okay, that's actually nice. I'm like, that's good. I like that. Sometimes I wonder, I'm like, wait, what happened? And I missed that we hit 1,000 points. Or someone died and that immediately made us win by 1,000 points or whatever. Fix an issue caused the game client to crash when registering a new account on Steam, EJS, Microsoft Store, or GOG. Fix a rare bug that caused acoustic torpedoes to move in the opposite direction from a target marked with the sonar ping. Oh, that'd been funny. Fix several issues with armor for Kansas, Asturias, and North Carolina. Include additional description for the patrol fighters of Independence, Yorktown, and Essex, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, fix an issue which sometimes caused large caliber guns to lack a unique sound when permanent camouflages were equipped. Fix a bug which would, in some situations, cause players to earn double the amount of oil. Oh, well, that was a good thing for clans then. Good bug. Okay, that wraps this up. So let's look at the summary here. I like the clan window change. Like, that's nice to be able to link your clan's Discord and summarize information. That's probably my favorite thing about this, even though it's little. But I'm also... Submarines have needed something, right? Apparently they don't put a lot of information in here, but they have needed some changes, so I'll be more excited to see what those changes are. And I don't even know... no, it doesn't look like they've actually told us. So, yeah. So, I don't know. All in all, it's an okay update. I don't think there's anything really negative here. I mean, it's just good to see that they're working on subs, and we'll have to see what those submarine updates end up doing, if they help us in the game or they make things worse. I still don't get just only... Their way of addressing shotgunning is just adjusting the amount of damage the torpedoes do depending on the distance, which honestly is really dumb. Because now the player has to think, okay, if I fire from this range versus that range, how much damage am I going to do? Am I going to fire enough? Will the torpedoes be enough damage to maybe kill this target I'm surfacing to try to kill, or not? Where, you know, submarines would use much more in an ambush, where they'd be at a distance and then you wouldn't know the submarine is around until the torpedoes hit you, which is kind of like how a lot of players played the Gato as an example, because the alternative torpedoes do a good chunk of damage. But I don't know, I don't feel like that was the best way to address shotgunning. It's still super effective. I mean, you're just going to be doing less damage, but how much less damage? I guess that's the key thing. Are they going to nerf the damage so much that your torpedoes at 2.5 kilometers do so little damage it's not worth it? And so you're incentivized to not do it. So it sounds like they're trying to more incentivize players not to do shotgunning versus just outright like, no, you can't, your torpedoes don't arm within a 4-kilometer distance of the enemy ship you're firing upon. Yeah, I don't know. So let me know your thoughts on that. I think that's what I'm most interested to see how this goes. But definitely take advantage of the discount on demounting upgrades during the first week of the new update. So With that being said, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. If you're subscribed, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you, as always, to my Patreon supporters. So until next time, take care.